believe we are live right now, my people. What is going on, everyone? It is, of course, your boy Michael, back at it again with another Freedom and Hustle episode. I believe this is episode 5 at this point. Man, we are really getting through all these episodes. It's pretty crazy, you know. But that's the benefit of having a schedule, you know. Like I've planned before. I plan for these podcasts to be weekly. So usually, my schedule is a work in progress. You know, I have a schedule, but it does tend to be turbulent, and I often have to change it at times. But the way how I have my schedule right now, without any kind of issue. So under an ideal scenario, how I usually am handling this is that usually I record these podcast episodes on Monday. So of course today's Monday the 3rd, and before Monday, or at the very least early in the day of this day, I usually plan out the podcast. So I write out what I'm gonna do within this journal right here. This is the journal that I'm using. You only see the back of it, but it's not really the point of what I'm saying. But I usually write down what I'm going to discuss within the podcast, within the notes, so that way you don't forget it. It's the closest thing that I have to a script. I can't really do a script, because I'm not like that, but I just have some notes. They're usually pretty detailed of what I'm going to cover, and then I use that as a frame of reference, so that way when I record these episodes, finally I have a good idea of what I'm gonna discuss, so that way this episodes are not a blabbering mess, which does tend to happen sometimes. So many people are doing podcasts now, which I think is a good thing, but I would say one of the biggest problems to a lot of podcasts, the people that are starting them, is that they're not organized, in the sense you don't have discipline. You don't have a schedule. You're not motivated enough to continue them. It's just any other venture that a lot of people get into. Whether it's whether it's podcasting, whether it's streaming, whether it's starting a business. You get this passion to do it. You finally do it. But for whatever reason, whether it be discipline or just loss of motivation. Not too long after you start it, people tend to just tend to abandon the venture. You know what I mean? That's why there's a common saying within business, a majority of small businesses fail within 5 years or so. And of course there's various reasons to that, but I would argue one of the biggest reasons is that there's not a whole lot of discipline with a lot of businesses. When it comes to structure and stuff like that. And also, a similar thing happens, when it comes to content creators, whether you're talking about streamers or YouTubers, anyone like that. They don't have a structure to them. They don't have something that's going to keep themselves motivated to actually continue, and that's one thing that I'm going to make sure that that I do, so that way I can continue getting all this content out for y'all, so that way you can always expect a new episode every week. I can't always promise that it's gonna be out on Tuesday, because stuff happens. I don't often get the time to edit them in time for Tuesday, so they often get pushed out later to the week. But the best thing I can promise y'all is every single week, moving on forward, you're gonna expect a new episode of these, unless of course something happens where I just forget, or some other unfortunate circumstances that prevents me from getting an episode out. But yeah, so that's the first note that I want y'all to keep note of, is to try to structure your lives more. You know what I mean? Have a schedule and try to stick to it, and the more you stick to your schedule, and it becomes more your routine, so it becomes something that's it's just something that you do. It's kind of brushing your teeth, you always set time to brush your teeth, no matter what, if you have a schedule and you keep sticking to it, eventually it's gonna reach the point where hey, it's just a duh, of course I always do I always record a YouTube video every Tuesday, because that's just my schedule, once you get to like that point, then the possibilities are like endless. Like for you, as long as you keep your venture like organized, and it helps like drive like the passion that you need to like continue like moving forward. But yeah, I guess like the first big note that I'd want y'all to draw from this episode. Just keep your lives organized. A lot of benefits to it. But yeah, moving on from that. So of course, like I said, as I'm recording this, actually let me check my phone real quick because I think I just went off for a moment. Oh no, it went off by nothing important. Anyway, so like I said, this is I'm recording this like on a Monday, so that means last night we had the Super Bowl, and man, like if you're from Kansas City, and by the way, Kansas City is actually like in Missouri for anyone that didn't know, that just assumed, that just because like the name is Kansas City, that is in Kansas. That's not actually the case. It's from Missouri, and some people of very high power, forgot that was like the case, which I found like pretty funny. Y'all probably know who I'm referring to, but hey, that's not the point, but yeah, congrats to the Chiefs. They finally were able to bring home a trophy after almost like 50 years. I think the last time that the Chiefs won a Super Bowl was like way back in like 1970, I think, or maybe even further than that. Which is kind of crazy. But congrats to them. I will admit that I'm not the biggest football fan. I'm more of a basketball person. That's like my preferred sport of choice to watch and view and enjoy. But like most Americans, once playoffs and especially like when Super Bowl comes around, then that's when everyone's a football fan. That's when everybody's watching. And that's the case with me as well. Like even though I don't watch a lot of football, if at all, when Super Bowl comes around, that's when I become a fan. And I don't of course I don't just watch the Super Bowl like just for the game. Honestly, like the game is like more of like a side thing to me. Like honestly, like the commercials. Usually, I find those like more interesting to watch. Just just like understand like how the big companies like to market themselves. And the ads. And the cost to like run ads now is like getting like more expensive. When I mean like ads, I mean like to run like a commercial like during the Super Bowl. Like I think like this year, I might be wrong. Like it might be a little bit less or a little bit more, but I think it was like running around like the $5 million range. So that's like, ooh, just for like a 30-minute, or not a 30-minute ad. I'm tripping. A 30-second to like a minute commercial. You spent $5 million on that. You better hope you get your money's worth. And a lot of these big companies, they see it as absolutely worthy, And I think like the $5 million, that's just to get like the space. That's not even covering like the costs like to actually like produce and like get the commercial like going. Like like there was like some really good produced like commercials that I saw. The one I found like interesting. There were like several that I found. Pretty interesting was like the not the pistachio, but it was like the Mr. Peanut one where spoiler alert anyone, by the way, but the ad was basically like I guess like Mr. Peanut like getting like reborn or whatever, because because like Mr. Peanut company like they kind of like been like running like this whole campaign of like Mr. Peanut has unfortunately like passed away after 100 years of existing, and it looked like he got reborn into a baby like Peanut or whatever, I found that one interesting. There were like some other ones that I found like interesting as well. I like the one with is his name like Elliot Rogers? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Like he's the like he's the one with like the really deep Western voice. I can't even imitate it. I probably like offend some people doing that. I apologize, but They did like an old western ad with him and Lil Nas X, which I thought was like pretty interesting. You know, I think we all know Lil Nas X now from his Old Town Road song, and he did a commercial, pretty interesting like old west commercial with Elliot whatever his last name is. It was a pretty interesting commercial. I don't remember like who produced it. You know, I think no, I don't remember who exactly like was the one behind the commercial. But that was like an interesting one. There were like those were the two commercials that really like caught my eye that I found like interesting. There were like some other ones like as well that were like interesting, but those two were like the ones that caught my eye, or at least like those were like the ones that I was able to like watch. You know, like when they were like on. I'm sure like there was like some other commercial that would have caught my eye, but I didn't catch it. Like because I just like watching the TV like at that very moment. But those two were like very interesting. When it comes to like the commercials, of course, when it comes to like the Super Bowl, the other big thing that often catches people's attention is the halftime show. And boys, depending on like what camp you on, either there were people that absolutely loved the halftime show, and some people that didn't disliked it. And I'm not gonna throw shade on like either side. I kind of find myself like in the like the middle. So just in case like you didn't see the halftime show, the halftime consisted of the main stars were Shakira and J Lo, and then I guess you would call them like side acts, or I don't know how do you call it, but co-performing acts was with J Balvin and Bad Bunny. And if you're Latino, then you probably know who the other two are. But if you're if who's like from the Midwest and is just like watching football just to watch football, then then you were probably like a little bit like confused. You're probably like confused like about the whole thing in general, because as I was seeing like some Twitter comments, and Twitter was such a mess last night, because like I said, there were some people that really loved it, and some people that just weren't feeling it at all. They like they weren't feeling it because they were just like, I couldn't understand a single thing. Maybe for Spanish speakers, this halftime report was awesome, but man, this was not a good one. And there was like some other ones that were just saying like this was just like this was such a degenerate halftime show, like worst one I've seen yet. And of course like those like the other side as well. I will say I find myself in the middle. Overall, I enjoyed the halftime show, and again, maybe I'm biased. As a member of the Latino community, maybe I'm just like I'm biased, and I just think like they're just gonna be like good by default. Although I don't think they're like that was the case. I think like I think especially Shakira like put on like a really good show. Like last night, J Lo, she was really representing, all the Boricuas in the world, like llevando la bandera. Last night she had like the Puerto Rican flag draped, so she was representing, but I think Shakira, I think like she was the star like by far, I will say like there was like one big thing that I would critique, and a lot of people were critiquing the halftime report, but my big critique was it looked like they were lip singing. It looked like maybe I'd have to like rewatch it a little bit, but it looked like especially like Shakira and J Lo, when it comes to like dancing, oof, especially Shakira, like the hips don't lie, as she would say, and for sure. But it did look like they were lip singing a little bit. Just maybe I'd have to like rewatch it again, but it looked like they were lip singing. But at least when it came to like J Balvin and Bad Bunny, they actually like did their part, and and you know, like at least like they didn't disappoint. But of course, like probably like that were watching, you know, they probably like didn't understand the lyrics, you know, of course, but you know, but at least for us, you know, it was something that you know that we can really come to like enjoy, you know, especially like seeing like Bad Bunny, you know, if you were someone who like followed Bad Bunny like at least like you know 2 or 3 years ago, you know, seeing you know him go national now, seeing him at the halftime show, it was pretty it was something you know that was like pretty interesting, you know, and and he was wearing something that was like pretty interesting to say the very least, you know. They always have to, especially Bad Bunny. He always got to dress pretty interesting, I guess, like to say the very least, you know. But I will say, you know, people were getting like a little bit carried away, like on the other side, you know, on the side of like there were a lot of people that were saying like, you know, best halftime report, you know. There were better halftime reports, you know. Keep it real, you know. This one was a good one, you know. But keeping it real, like they were better ones, and you know there were some people that were like getting like cocky, you know, and snarky, excuse me, saying like you know, yeah, we're showing it to all the white folks, you know, or, you know, like last night, you know, like we're taking over, you know. I don't think we don't really need to be, you know, like too cocky, and we don't have to like boast too much, you know. I'm speaking to all my fellow Latinos, you know, we got our moment, you know, we can be proud of it, but you know, because on the other side, you know, like we're gonna see, and we definitely did see like a lot of like, you know, ignorant people. I guess you could say like last night, or just, you know, like kind of saying it was all like foreign, and you know, just like a bunch of like ignorant stuff, you know. Um, a lot of like comments from, you know, like the old boomers, and I guess like some from the Groifers. If you don't know what that means, you can go ahead and like look it up. You know, you see like a lot of comments like from them, who were just saying like this was just, you know, just like hot trash. You know, of course, you know, I think they were just as much as ignorant, and you know they had dumb takes just as much as, you know, the people on the other side. You know, that's why I say like I find myself in the middle of like all this. I think it was like pretty decent. You know, you know, it was always nice seeing Shakira's hips. You know what I mean. Definitely a nice performance if you know what I mean. I don't think there's just not too much else for me to add as well. Um, I think I already like made like the main points that I wanted to add from the halftime show. You know, overall I found myself in the middle. You know, there's a lot of people that are getting like carried away on both sides, saying that, you know, like it was the best halftime show. You know, we're taking over and all of that. You know, I don't really agree on that side. I think this was like a pretty, you know, so it was a pretty decent one. You know, um, maybe they could have done away with the lip singing. It would have been a little bit even more better in my opinion. Um, but then on the other side, that were just saying like you know, man, you know, why they out here speaking Spanish? I didn't come to you know, to another country just to see this, and I'm just like, man, this is in Miami, all right, all right. I know where this is like taking place. You know what I mean? Um, so so both of the extremes takes on the halftime show, I think we're just like dead wrong. And you know, I don't usually like to play centrist, but in this one, I'm definitely taking the more centrist position. You know, it was a decent one. You know, there was some stuff that I would change. You know, definitely didn't need like the lip singing. But you know, uh, what can I say? What else can I say? Like both of the extremes were definitely wrong. For this one, like for sure. You know, but hey, Shakira did definitely made herself like meme of the year, for sure. People are gonna be memeing that one little segment for some time. Definitely to this point, meme of the year by far. But yeah, I think that's enough commentary on the halftime show. I hope I gave myself like a decent take, and all you let me know like what did y'all think of the halftime show? Let me know if you agree with my take, or you agree more with like the boomers and the Grafers, or if you're like on the complete other side, maybe you were completely proud of the Latino pride that we showed like last night, and you thought this was like the best halftime report in history, I still think my male position is like the more correct one, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move on, Damn, I've already been doing this for like 30 minutes now to this point. That's kind of crazy, I think I'm getting better at like this podcast stuff because like before, honestly, obviously the hardest part of doing podcasts is just speaking for like an extended period of time, because for a lot of people, speaking for an extended period of time it's not always the easiest thing to do, like people just they just like ramble on, they don't know like what kind of commentary they can add for like an extended period of time, but I think at least on my end, I'm getting like a little bit better because, at least at this point, I've already been doing this for like about 30 minutes at this point, and well, not 30 minutes, it's about like 20 actually. Can't do math apparently. I thought I started at 120. That's why I'm thinking 30 minutes. I've actually been doing this for about 20. But either way, been doing this for an extended amount of time already to this point. But moving on. Let me go ahead and review my my notes for today. That way I can, tell you, because the main topic of this episode was not going to be about the Super Bowl like at all. Like that was just going to be like a side thing that I wanted to like get out of the way. But I just ended up spending a good amount of time just discussing it. But yeah, moving on. And the main topic that I wanted to like discuss today was just like mindset and how important I think it is in order to just have success in anything, to be honest, like whether it's relationships, whether it's business, whether it's making content online, like anything, whether you're doing like sports, having a mindset, and specifically like a winner mindset, is gonna make like the biggest difference like in the world as to whether or not you're gonna be like successful in your field, or whether you're just gonna be average, or if you're gonna be mediocre. Your mindset is gonna determine that, and specifically you want to have a winner mindset. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, basically, you're gonna have like the mindset where you have the complete confidence, you have the strength and the belief that you can win in whatever field you're in. It's the mindset that like let's say like you're in business. Like you just started out your e-commerce store or whatever, and you just have like the opinion that like, hey, no matter what hardships I might have, no matter what objections I might come across, no matter how many obstacles that come my way, I'm going to overcome them, and I'm going to be the greatest in like my field. I'm going to dominate. I'm going to build myself an empire. That's the mindset that you would have. And just use like another example, it would be like if let's say like you're a streamer or whatever. Let's say you're doing like Twitch. A successful mindset would be that, or maybe like a better phrase would be like a winner mindset. A winner mindset in that case would be like, no matter what kind of obstacles, no matter if every stream, like the first 10 streams I do, like no matter if I get like one or two people to just like watch it, like this is just like the beginning. Eventually I'm gonna grind, and I'm gonna be like the best in like my field. Like I'm gonna be the best like Fortnite player. I'm gonna be like the best. I'm gonna be like the best like commentator streamer like in my field. That's the mindset that you have, you know, that you're just gonna that you know you're gonna accomplish greatness because you've told yourself that you're gonna accomplish greatness. Like no matter what, no matter what anybody else says, you know, because everybody else's opinions, you know, at least to you, does not matter. You know what I mean? Like they don't they don't. Their input is minuscule. You know, like the only person's opinion that matters is your own. You know, everyone else is is secondary. You know, like of course, you know, you can value input from other people. You know, you can say that that, you know, hey, you know, like I like, you know, like you do bring in an interesting point to what I want to do. You know, like that's definitely like a take that I would definitely consider. But at the end of the day, you know, you already know what you want, what you're gonna have, and nobody's take is gonna take that away. You know, it's the difference between saying like, hey, you know, you're a big basketball player, you know, and you have like the mindset that says that no matter what, I know I'm going to be in the NBA because I've told myself I'm going to be in the NBA, and I'm going to keep hustling and grinding until I get there, you know, and I know I'm going to get there, you know, because I've already told myself that that I'm going to get there, you know. And of course, along the way, I'm sure you're gonna have like a lot of doubters. You're gonna have people that you know, like, for whatever reason, like, you know, they're gonna think that, you know, hey, you know, even though like you might not have been the best, you know, like in high school or like when you were doing basketball, like in like middle school, you know, therefore you're not going anywhere. All right, you might as well hustle. You might as well just you know, work on like some other field because this basketball stuff is not going anywhere for you. You know, when you have like a winner mindset, you really like those doubters don't matter, you know, because they're just evaluating you from one point in like in your life. You know, they were just evaluating you from one obstacle that you were encountering in your life, and they weren't evaluating you from where you can and will be. You know, and that place of where you can and will be is the point where you're in the NBA and you're proving all the doubters wrong. Like you know, you're making success happen for you. Like you know, you were once here, but now you're in the big leagues now. And the reason why you were in the big leagues is because you had the mindset that kept telling you that like, hey, you know, I might not be where I am right now, or I might not be where I want to be right now. You know, I want to be like up here. You know, but I already got this plan, and I'm going to keep following it, and I'm going to keep pushing towards it, you know, despite any kind of difficulties that come upon my way, you know. Since I discussed basketball, and I discussed like this a little bit in the previous episode. And by the way, you know, I tend to not discuss these episodes like in a vacuum, in a sense that you know, I might discuss like some topics that I discussed like in the previous episode. So it might always be a good idea, you know, if you'd like to just like listen to the previous episode like as well, because like there's gonna be like at times there's gonna be like some topics that I discussed that I'm discussing that, you know, that was also like discussing like the previous episode. So none of these episodes are like in a vacuum in a sense. So it's not like, you know, I discuss a topic in one episode and like that's that. You know, that's the end of discussion when it comes to like that topic. I tend to like draw some points like the previous episode. So if you'd like, I do recommend you listen a little bit to the previous episode because there's gonna be like because they're gonna correlate. And the reason why is because I wanted to specifically discuss a little bit about Mamba mindset. You know, and this is a specific type of success mindset that, you know, of course was popularized by, you know, the late Kobe Bryant. You know, and if you wanted to best summarize Mamba mindset or Mamba mentality, you can best sum it up by just like a simple quote. You know, and that quote is just like, you know, hey, if it's you against a bear, you better pray for that bear. You better pray against, you know, you better pray for that bear because that bear is gonna have problems, you know, because the other person, you know, i.e. you know, you have the mindset that you're gonna win. You're gonna win against that bear, and that bear's gonna have problems. You know, it's the mindset that I don't know why I came up with this example just now, but hey, if it's... Oh, my computer just turned off. I just have to turn it right back on. My bad. Let me make sure that everything's still running. Have to do this every now and then just to make sure that I'm not just talking to myself. Okay, I think we're good. Alright, sometimes you just have to make sure that everything's like running fine. Alright. But anyway, continuing on. You know, to sum up with it, like another quote that I just like came up with. You know, if it's you against the IRS, if the IRS is coming at you for tax evasion, you better pray for the IRS, because the IRS is not going to get you because you told yourself that you're going to beat the IRS. You know, that's just a weird example that I came up with. Like just now, but hey, you could just use that example for like anything, you know. If you're going against the Golden State Warriors, you know, if you're in the championships, you better pray for the Golden State Warriors, because hey, they're gonna have a world of pain, you know, coming their way, because you have that Mamba mentality. Okay, it's you know, I'm just gonna keep using like examples because I really do want to drive like these points to you all, you know, because like I said, you know, if you adopt this mindset to your day-in-day life, you're gonna see like the biggest, you know, uptick in productivity and just seeing like, you know, how much potential that you have for your life. You know, to use like another like example, you know, if you're in a business in a certain market, you better pray for your competitors, because you know, once you're on the scene, you know, you're gonna dominate, and you better pray for like the competitors, because the competitors are gonna have like a hard time, you know, competing with you, because you know what's up, you know what you're capable of, and you're gonna show, you know, your full potential against your competitors, you know, and your competitors are gonna have a really hard time competing like against you. You know, because you know what you can do, you know, and you're gonna show it to them 100%. You know, Mamba mentality is everything, you know. And honestly, you know, since we're talking about like Kobe, you know, Kobe definitely like had some ability, like no doubt, you know, but honestly, you know, if it weren't for the mentality that he coined himself, you know, like the Mamba mentality, is there like any doubt that you know, like he would be like as remembered as we are remembering him now, if not for like his mindset and mentality, you know? He definitely, you know, would have made a name for himself like within like the NBA, but you know, he would never be the absolute legend and just, you know, you know, honorable human being that we're remembering him now, if it weren't for the mindset that he had. It's like the mindset that, you know, like, no matter what, you know, I'm gonna score 60 points on my final game, you know, which is something that nobody does except for Kobe, because you know, it's the Mamba mentality, you know. It's like the mentality that, you know, like you continue training, okay, like you continue like improving yourself, you know, like until you can get to a point where you know, like you know, you can compete at the big leagues, you know, where you know, you're taking home, you know, like NBA rings, you know, you're bringing home championships. That's the mindset that you have, where you know, you know that you're more than capable, because you're always telling yourself that you know that is capable. In a lot of ways, you know, you create like your own reality, you know. You know, I discussed like in a couple episodes back the law of attraction, you know, and this is why I'm saying, like, you know, it's always a good idea to refer back to like previous episodes. You know, just give yourself like an idea of like what we're discussing, you know. But as the law of attraction states, you know, in a lot of ways you create your own reality. Like, you know, if you have like this firm belief that, you know, you could only accomplish like you know, like so much, like, you know, the best I can do in life is, you know, I get like this office job, I get paid like $50K a year, and that's it, you know. And the only reason why I think that is because, like, you know, society's told me that, you know, my college professors told me that, you know. You know, I spent 4 years getting this degree, and the best that this degree can give me is like this boring office job, 9 to 5, where I only get paid like 50K a year, you know. And I can only achieve like so much because like that's what I believe. All right, your mindset, your beliefs are gonna drive and put you where you're gonna end up being. You know, which is why I think it's so important, more than anything, to be honest, that you have a mindset that's gonna help you like achieve anything. Like, you know, like hard work, you know, determination, all of that, you know, and especially like skills. You know, like, because, you know, if you're gonna like get into basketball, you know, of course, you know, you're gonna like need like skills in order to like to do so. You know what I mean? Like, like, you know, if you don't have a if you're born with no arms or anything like that, then I would imagine like playing basketball is going to be like a little bit difficult for you. So I'm not saying that, you know, of course, having like the skills necessary to achieve your goals isn't important. Of course it is. I just think that one of the most important things that you'd want to have is like a strong winning mindset. You know, like I said, you know, I'm at the point where I just really believe that you know, like, whatever you put into like your head, whatever mindset you have, you're gonna create your own reality. You know, like when you do so. So if you really believe that you're just gonna have like a subpar life, and that's just what, you know, life has gifted you, then, you know, you're probably gonna get exactly that. You know, and your life is gonna be exactly that. Like, you know, you're gonna spend 50 years in this 9 to 5, which is just like basic. You know, it's boring. You know, you hate it. But you only think you can get there because, hey, because that's what you always like taught yourself. You know. However, if you think that, you know, that you can achieve a lot more in life, if you have like this belief that they're gonna achieve like a lot more, that you know, like, hey, like this point where I'm at right now, you know, this ain't it. You know, I can do a lot more because I know I can. You know, and then I am gonna you know, go high places. You know, like, I'm gonna have like this business that's gonna make me, you know, 6 to 7 figures a year. I'm gonna you know, be a top end, you know, like, live streamer. I'm gonna be, like one of the top players like in the NBA. You know, is all about mindset, and the more that you adopt like a success, you know, winning mindset to everything that you do, you're gonna see like vast improvements like in your life, and you're gonna be very surprised, you know, very quickly at how much you can do, you know. Like attracts like, if you know what I mean, you know. You're like I've been saying before, you know, you, in a lot of ways, you create your own reality, you know, and you know, that's what the law of attraction says. And, you know, hey, if you don't believe it, that's fine, but a lot of people do. And you know, I would say like mindset is kind of like tied to it, you know, if you think about it, you know, because look at the people that like almost every single successful person that you know, they say similar things, you know, like, it's all about mindset, you know. Honestly, if I were you, you should be taking notes, you know. The best people that you should be taking notes from is people that are already like successful. So if you want to if you want to be like the best in business, take notes from some people who've already like accomplished that, and start like reverse engineering, you know. And a lot of people that are successful, they say the same thing about what I'm saying right now. You know, like, mindset is everything. You know, you should be taking notes from like these people. You know, I'm not saying that you can't take advice from, you know, like, people that are either like below you or that are at your level. If you're not familiar with Tai Lopez, you know, he's another big marketer that's around. You know, he gives like pretty good advice, I would say. He has like a good rule that I think is pretty interesting. It's like the 33% rule. When what that basically means is that, like, you know, you spend 33% of your time with people that are, you know, above your level. So basically, that people that are more successful than you. You spend 33% of your time with people that are already at your level, and you spend 33% of your time of people that are like below you. You know, and so that way, you know, you get like a good like balance of time with people that are at various, you know, levels of like the success hierarchy. You know. So it's always good to like take, you know, advice from like different perspectives, you know. But you know, if you want to get to like a certain level, if you want to get to like a certain like high place in life, find, you know, get advice, get mentorship from people that are already there. You know, take their best advice, you know, and apply it to your life, and I guarantee you, you're gonna see a lot of changes, you know. So the biggest note that I'd want all of you to draw from like this episode, if anything, is to, you know, start adapting a winning mindset to everything that you do. You know, if you really want to improve like your workouts this this year, you know, start telling yourself that you're gonna like to do exactly that, and you know that you can, and you're going to. You know, if you're gonna start like that business that you know is gonna make 6 figures a year, go ahead and do it, and keep telling yourself that. You know, eventually you're gonna create your own reality, and you're gonna be very surprised at the things that are gonna be possible in life when you do so. But yeah, I think I spent like a good amount of time like talking about mindset, and you know, which is a good thing, because I think like winning mindset is really important. You know, for whatever like you want in life. If there's like some high point that you want to like achieve in life, make sure that you have the mindset to accompany it, and you're going to be so surprised at the things that are going to be coming your way. You know, a lot of positive things can come your way, like once you have the mindset to allow it. So yeah, adopt a winning mindset, everyone. You'd be surprised at how many things you can accomplish in life once you do so. All right, so that was like the main topic that I honestly wanted to discuss today. And I think at this point we're already about like 40 minutes in, which is kind of crazy, you know. So I was gonna do like a well, actually I think I might still do the book review. Should I do the book review? I'm deciding if whether or not I should do the book review. So I think I think I might save it for a later date, but I might as well show you like the book that I finished like reading. So I kind of give myself like a goal now that that every month I'm gonna like do like at least, you know, a one good book read like every month, you know, which I think is like a good goal. You know, I think I could push myself to read a little bit more, but you know, this is like a good starting point. You know, have a good read every month. And for the month of January, this was my book. It's I'll Make You an Offer You Can't Refuse. So that's like the name of the book for those who were just listening to the audio version, and for those that are seeing the video, you can also see the book as well. So the book is called I'll Make You an Offer You Can't Refuse, and the book, the author's name is Michael Francese. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name right. If I'm not pronouncing it right, I really apologize. You know, and for those of you who don't know, he's a former. I don't know if he was like an underboss, but he was definitely like a big rank within the Colombo family. So this guy was he's a former mob boss, but now he's a motivational speaker. You know, he's a devoted Christian now. And, you know, he's out of the life now, but he made, like, this book. This book's a little bit old. I think this came out, like, in 2009 or so. But he made, like, this book where he lays out, like, a lot of, like, business tips that he drew from, you know, during his time in the mob. And it's a great book. You know, there's, like, a lot of good business tips that you can definitely, like, adopt, you know, that would help improve, like, the ways, like, you do business, you know? You can learn a lot of things from the mobs. Or from the mob, I should say. You can learn a lot of things from them, to be honest. You know, it's not always like good things, but hey, you know, there are some ways how like they operate themselves that you know that you can definitely like adopt to your organization that would help like improve it. You know, like for the better. You know, but yeah, if you think that's interesting, let me know. I would definitely be interested in doing like a book review of this, because I really enjoyed this book, but I'd like to do like a more like extensive like book review like within like these podcasts, and I think that'd be interesting to do. But yeah, y'all let me know. I'm still waiting on my my book for this month. You know, hopefully it comes in later today, or maybe like tomorrow or so. But yeah, so if you've listened to like this point, let me know like what you think of like the book review idea. I think I might do it for next week. But like y'all let me know what you think. If you think that's a good idea, you let me know, and I will definitely make sure to do so like next week. If you guys like really like the idea, I'll make sure to make it pretty extensive as well. You know, so that way you can draw as much value from like the book as possible. But yeah, I think I've drawn all like the big points I wanted to draw like during like this podcast. So one thing that I would appreciate all of you to do, if there's like one favor that I would love for all of y'all to do, is to simply like share like this podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, if you do like a lot of value from it, and you think there's somebody else that would really appreciate and value this information as well, you know, share it to them. You know, like let them know that this podcast exists. You know, because if you think that this is information that's like very useful and that other people need to see it, then it's almost like an obligation for all of you to, you know, like get the information out and share like this podcast. You know, I want to see this podcast grow as much as possible like this year. And you know, if you think this is information that is like very helpful and that you would that you think would be very helpful for somebody else that you know, send them a link. You know, let them know that, you know, hey, this podcast exists. You know, I think it's pretty interesting, and I think the information that's in here would be very useful for you. You know, send them my way, and you like help like this message grow. You know, I'm trying to you know, help motivate as much people as I can. You know, like this year, you know, help bring like some inspiration, like some people, and honestly to change some people's lives. You know, that's something that I would really like love to see from as many people as possible. You know, because you know, we all have a purpose like in this world, but I do think that, you know, one of my purpose like in this world is to help is to help as many people like as possible. You know, to help realize their potential. You know, that, you know, hey, you know, life is meant to be lived as abundantly as possible. You know, especially like in this age. You know, like it's more possible than ever to like live a prosperous life where you know you're doing something that like you really like enjoy, like than in any other era in history. Like, you know, this is it. You know, there's so many opportunities that are around for you to like to realize your potential and do something that like you really love. You know, and but a lot of people, you know, they're not privy to like that message. You know, and I'm trying to bring that message out to like those kind of people. So if you know people that are like that, you know, like share them like this podcast. You know, it would mean the world to me, like seeing messages from those kind of people, and, you know, saying that, hey, you know, this is like the exact message that I needed to like see for today. You know, I really like your podcast. You know, seeing messages like those would like mean the world. You know, because it means that I'm growing, but it also means that I'm helping people like as well as a process. You know, I give value out, and you help people, and that's a feeling that, you know, that is like really great to have. But yeah, if you can do that, I would really appreciate it. And expect another podcast episode coming very soon. I don't know what the topic is going to be, but I think one of them is going to be this book review. I think I'm pretty down for like the book review idea. So I think the book review we're gonna like do that a little bit in the next episode along with another topic. So yeah, if you enjoyed this one, you know, like make sure to share it, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that would appreciate this message as well. And of course, I will see you all next week. All right, take care, everyone. Adios. Peace.